What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with NIO, Tesla, SPY, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm also going to talk about why next week is going to be very important as you have big earnings coming out. Not to mention the reason why NIO ended up dipping today since we had some negative news. I want to break down what that news was that came out and what this means for NIO moving forward. But before I break things down this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a few things. I am personally not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire community as a whole. Anyways, some negative news did end up coming out today. Unfortunately, NIO's CFO, Stephen Wei Feng, has resigned, and they're naming Stanley Yu Q to succeed him. So I do apologize if I ended up saying those names wrong. I don't really speak Mandarin, or I may have made a mistake. So I do apologize for that. But hopefully, I got the point across. So, anyways, with this coming out, I just want to say that I wish Stephen Wei Fang the best. He's been a very, very big help for NIO working as their CFO, and this new promotion for Stanley is going to be very, very useful. So I'm very, very proud of him. And this is also very important for NIO. So this change right here with one of their CFOs resigning was quite negative news. This would be negative news for any company, if it was like Tesla or Apple or any company. You would still see a sell-off. So it's not necessarily like fundamentals for NIO that caused this, but more towards what's happening with their board, what's happening with their overall positions. So it was a little bit negative. Q was very, very experienced. He joined NIO in 2016. He worked in many different financial leadership roles. And I just hope for the best for him and everyone else that's involved. So with this happening, we just have to continue forward and remain optimistic. With this new change in roles right here, it's going to be very important. And also, it's going to affect things maybe later on down the line. We'll see how things end up changing. There's also some news coming out that Chinese-built EVs have been hit with EU tariffs. News says it may have to raise its prices in Europe. A little bit negative news came out yesterday, so that's not the best of news as well. Because once again, these these duties are going to be ranging from about 17.4 to 37.6%. They're going to be coming into effect on Friday. So it's another factor as to why NIO sold off. We have these new tariffs. They're making things a lot more competitive and more expensive. So why is this happening? There's many different reasons why, from geopolitical issues to other factors involving prices. Once again, you have to remember that prices in China, at least when it comes to producing a car, is a lot cheaper than it is in the US and also in many European countries. So Chinese EVs would be a lot more affordable if they were just sold all over the world and they didn't have all these tariffs. The tariffs kind of like it makes things better for like domestic companies in Europe to have be able to compete with the prices and such, because the Chinese cars would be a lot more expensive with these tariffs and such. So that's one of the reasons why it's a little bit negative news, at least for NIO. So with this happening, we just have to continue forward. I still hope that NIO's sales remain very strong in Europe, and nonetheless, their sales are strongest. Their sales are strongest in China, and they're going to continue to remain this way, in my personal opinion. Now, for other pieces of news I want to talk about next week, it's going to be pretty big because even though Monday, Tuesday, and I would say like the first 4 days of the week are not that crazy, we do have WD-40 on Wednesday, Delta and PepsiCo on Thursday, a little bit more significant. But by Friday, after the first 4 days of the week, we have Friday coming after that. Then we have JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, Citi, and lots of big bank earnings starting on Friday. So earnings season starts again coming up next week. It's going to be very important, so I can't wait to see what this leads to. For more news about the markets, I just want to mention that on Monday, we just have inflationary expectations. For Tuesday, we have Jerome Powell giving a testimony that could affect us to some extent. Wednesday, we have Jerome Powell giving another speech. And then for Thursday, we have CPI, not to mention PPI on Friday. So lots of big data is coming out over the next couple of days. We'll see how things kind of like develop from here, at least moving forward. As far as NIO goes, today Germany launched its 17th power station in Europe. So that's actually very, very good news, at least for NIO. And that's actually not bad whatsoever. It's offering a fast route to Munich, Germany. So very, very cool stuff. Can't wait to see how this goes, at least for NIO moving forward, as that's very, very important. Now, we also have 61 million in volume. That's above average, which is why NIO dipped quite hard today. Negative news came out involving Chinese tariffs, not to mention their CFO stepping down. Some negative news. Bank of America Securities is giving them a neutral rating, and price risk ratio is dipping, but as we're showing still some weakness. We're not really getting much of a bounce quite yet. And just know that Mondays tend to be green only about 49% of the time. So what do I see for the share price? Honestly, guys, we came down towards this 4.5 area. We did rebound off of that, and we're still trying to hold above our 50 EMA. So if we close below 4.5 to 50 EMA, I would turn a little bit more bearish and be concerned. As long as we hold above this, there is potential for us to try to rebound and push for 4.8 all over again. So I think what's going to happen is NIO may dip a little bit, retest 4.5. If we get that bounce, we'll be coming back up to 4.8. If we fail to do so, we're going to be looking for a rejection. But overall, I'm seeing a very, very nice accumulation structure and a potential for this to try to rebound. So we watch to see how things at least go for NIO. That's going to be very critical, at least for how the share price is moving. For SPY, on the other hand, is looking more bullish. We managed to close at 554.64 towards a new all-time high, very close to 555. If we break through this, I'll be looking for 557.5 and eventually 560. So overall, I'm going to be looking for more potential upside, at least from here. But overall, we're looking bullish. I'm very happy to see the way that the market's holding up. And this is once again not showing signs of weakness. This 555 level may be a little tough, so we might retrace just a bit, and we'll see if we try to continue to break out through that level going into next week. We still look bullish nonetheless, though. There's no sign of us breaking down. For Nvda, we closed towards 125. A little bit of weakness is being shown here. We didn't close above 127. Going to be looking for a dip towards 124.8. If we lose that, we're coming back down to 122. If we hold this, we could try to rebound. So I'm going to be very careful with Nvidia. It's showing a little bit of weakness right now. Might dip a little bit going into next week. We'll see if we get some kind of bounce or not. For Bitcoin, we're trying to rebound. We're going to be looking for a retest of 57,000. This is actually a pretty big test because this is where previous support is now going to become, or previous resistance becomes support right here. We actually had two tests of this one back then. Also, there's another test right here. So if we break through the previous support becoming resistance, we're going to be looking for 58,000 plus. If we reject here, we're going to be coming back down. This looks like it wants to rebound, but we'll have to see if that ends up being the case or not. And we also have, let me just double check this, Tesla. Tesla's trying to rebound. It's actually pushing up very, very nicely, but it's shuffling at this 250 area. To be bullish, you want to see this actually continue to break out towards 252.5. And if we end up losing 250, we'll be dipping back down towards 240. 8. So overall, Tesla's holding up well. We're just consolidating for now, so we'll have to give this some time. At the end of the day, the buyers did step back, so there is a lot of strength still in the stock. But I do see a little bit of consolidation coming before the next leg up. Nonetheless, there is still upside potential for Tesla. We might just consolidate a bit for now before we continue higher later on, but it's still bullish overall. The QQQ is also bullish, breaking out towards 496.5. If we lose 496, I'll be looking for a dip towards 494 as the next target. If we break 496.5, we're looking for 498. We're kind of in the middle, so we'll just have to give this some time just to see how things move. Apple's breaking out towards 227. If we reject here, we'll be dipping back down towards 225 and eventually lower levels. If we manage to break 227, we're going to be pushing all the way up towards 228 plus. But we're looking bullish, at least on Apple. There's a nice uptrend right here. So I see a lot more upside potential. For a few more tickers, we also have, let me just double check this, Coinbase. Coinbase is trying to push higher. If we break past 224, we're going all the way up towards 227. So this has more upside potential. We're kind of stuck right here trying to test this trend line right here. So I do see a little bit of upside potential. We need to try to bounce off this trend line and hold up nicely. For Amazon, we have a bullish wedge that's forming right here. So there's a good chance that we might be trying to break past 200. If that's the case, 202 is coming next. So it looks more bullish. For Meta, Meta's trying to break out as well. Going to be looking for this 540 area. If we break through this, I'm going to be looking for a nice push for 544. Overall, it looks more bullish to me. Microsoft is looking more bullish, hitting 468. If we break through this, we're easily going up to 470. There's no sign of this breaking out or breaking down, so we favor the upside. Google's also looking more bullish, going to be looking for 192.25. If that breaks 194, it could be coming next. We look bullish overall. So with that being said, guys, the market's looking bullish. No sign of us rejecting yet. On the other hand, GameStop and AMC are showing weakness. GameStop, it did manage to bounce off its 200 EMA at the 22 level, but now it's struggling to break past the 50 EMA. So it looks like it might dip a little bit lower towards 23.5 before it tries to bounce again. So I'll be watching to see if that ends up being the case. And then for AMC, we're kind of like on a slight downtrend. We could be dipping towards 4.99 and eventually 4.9. And we'll have to see if there's a bounce or not. But that's going to be key for us to look for a little dip before we try to continue higher. Overall, we're holding up very, very well. So that being said, guys, I want to thank you all so much for listening. Please have an absolutely incredible rest of the day. Just know that NIO, of all things, is not looking that great because we had some negative news that came out, and any company that announces their CFO kind of resigning, or if these tariffs come out which are outside of their control, if all that happens, any company could see downside because of that. So it's not necessarily NIO's fundamentals that are causing this, it has more to do with these external factors, geopolitical issues and such. However, seeing that they broke their record for deliveries, I'm very excited for the next Q2 deliveries report in just a couple of weeks. So in my personal opinion, look for a little dip and maybe potentially a bounce if we manage to hold above 4.5 going into next week. And we could be looking for a big test as well. We also have Jerome Powell giving a speech, not to mention other pieces of news. So we'll see how things go. Anyways, have a great day, guys. Enjoy the weekend. I'll be back on Sunday to announce another video to talk more about NIO and such. Until then, take care and peace out.